I'm just warning you right now, my team that I have right now is not quite the same as it was at the end of the last video. As I said in that annotation that I put, I needed my Wooper instead of my Furret, as well as an empty slot. Well, as it turns out, I did go for the change. I changed Furret for Wooper since I'm going to need to cross that whirlpool. But there is no need for an empty slot. The reason being that back in Gold, Silver... No, only Crystal! Sorry about that. It was only in Crystal. The extreme speed Dratini that the Elder gave you, well, you needed an empty slot to get it, and he gave it to you right away. However, it's changed a little in Hard Gold and Soul Silver. He only gives it to you once you've caught Lugia or Hulu, depending on your version, that is. I'm not sure why they did it that way. By the way, I'm doing the same thing I did in the Lake of Rage. I'm just running away from all those magic cards, because this place here has almost nothing but magic cards. There are a few Dratinis as a rare species, but mostly magic cards. And, by the way, I totally blacked out yesterday. I forgot to mention that even though I already announced my next LP, the Super Mario Bros. 3 Fan Fest is still going until the end of the month. And every night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Yesterday was World 2. And for those of you who were there, I apologize for the technical difficulties that they encountered. It's sort of par for the course, though, because they always have some difficulty getting the streams going. We're in 2011, and we're still not able to stream reliably over the internet. Imagine that. And for those of you who missed the first 2 days, we already had a few great moments so far, including a game over on World 1. I'm not making this up, game over on World 1. Though, to be fair, there was a self-imposed challenge involved. The way the Fan Fest works is that, well, players are trying to collect achievements that are made up by the community and selected by Brit, I believe. I don't know how it really worked, but anyway, one of the challenges was not using any power-ups at all throughout the entirety of World 1. And yeah, it was called Bear is Beautiful, but we all know it should have been called Don't Eat the Mushroom instead. But tonight is going to be World 3. It's going to be the Water World. That means we're going to have a lot of fun watching people fail and... Whoa! Hold on. Didn't want to do that quite yet. I just wanted to check that out. Yeah, I figured Max Potion. And it really looked suspicious, so I figured there must have been something in there. And by the way, just for fun, I don't know why I'm mentioning this, but I thought you guys should know, maybe. The next LP that I'm doing, Banjo-Kazooie. Well, a few months ago, I had intended on doing something else instead of that, and that... Whoa! Hold on, time out. I'm gonna come back to this later, but time out. This trainer that we just fought said that she still didn't have permission to use Dragon Pokemon, despite her being an Ace trainer and all. And you're telling me that these two little girls that clearly have no business here have permission to use those Dragon Pokemon? Yeah, doesn't make any sense at all, but I guess the game designers didn't really care about consistency when it came to minor NPC dialogue. That's the only excuse I can find, because if you stop and think about it, it just makes no sense. But as for what I was about to say, originally, instead of Banjo-Kazooie, I was supposed to do Chrono Trigger. And, you know, it's something that I thought over really, really hard, but I decided that I just couldn't make such a Let's Play watchable, even though Chrono Trigger requires very, very little micromanagement compared to other games like Final Fantasy VI, for example. Oh god, Final Fantasy VI, just juggling Espers to get the appropriate boosts is rather time-consuming and would make it totally unwatchable. But Chrono Trigger, I thought about it for a while, but given that the fact that I don't want to skip or cut out any battles So what this means is that I need to provide lots of interesting banter, which is something that I honestly can't do for a game like Chrono Trigger. I mean, it's not that it's a bad game, but there's just not nearly as much to talk about it as in a game like Pokémon that's in constant evolution. Chrono Trigger started existing in 1995, and since then, the game has only been changed in any significant way once, and that was the DS remake. Other than that, there's really not much I can say about such a game that would make such an LP interesting. So if I can't touch Chrono Trigger, overall, the RPG genre as a whole, outside of the Pokémon main series, I'm probably never ever going to do an RPG that's not Pokemon main series in my LPing career. Anyway, we made it to the Dragon Shrine. This guy here is the Elder. He's going to ask me a little quiz to test my beliefs about Pokemon. And, yeah, that girl is a handful. And the catch is that you have to answer those questions wrong, because, well, what are Pokemon to you? You gotta answer Ally for this one. Yeah, you get the idea. What helps you to win battles? Well, strategy, that's the right answer. That actually gets you that extreme speed Dratini. Do you wish to battle anyone? What is most important for raising Pokemon? Love. And, which is more important? Both. Yeah, you get the idea. Basically, you have to answer the most lovey-dovey, sappy answers possible. You know, like when the Beatles sang All You Need Is Love. That's what you gotta put into your mind if you want to get that Dratini with extreme speed later on. Anyway, here comes Claire to talk smack to us some more. You did fail? Actually, no. I passed. And the fun thing is that you end up passing no matter what kind of answers you give. And it's sort of funny when you actually give out the right answers, saying that only the strong ones matter and stuff, and you still get told that, must I inform Lance of this? I love that part. As soon as she hears Lance's name, she's like, oh crap, I'm in deep doo-doo if I don't give the badge. But, yeah, it's funny how you get told that you have the right principles no matter what you answer. But, once again, it's worth repeating that in Crystal, Hard Gold, Soul Silver, you have to give out the wrong answers if you want your Dratini to get extreme speed. And, by the way, as she just said, I can now use Waterfall outside of battle, and I can also use any traded Pokemon if I so wish. Love how she just ran out the door here. Anyway, I'm gonna get some more banter about Lugia, since this is going to be our next main objective in the game. There are a few things we need to attend to before that, and yeah, you need a Silver Wing. I've already got the Silver Wing, but as the president of the radio tower said, I also need something else, and it's something we're going to attend to after visiting the other places that require us to climb waterfalls. Now, speaking of climbing waterfalls, there's a bit of a problem with that, and it's that I can't do it right now because I need to evolve my Wooper into Quagsire. Now it's only 4 levels away, and I have access to trainer rematches now, so that's not gonna take too long. However, it's still going to require, some HM shuffling, because right now my Wooper has 4 slots with either HMs or Flash, since Flash isn't an HM anymore. And my Ferret only has 2. And as far as I know, my Wooper has Rock Smash, which I'm going to be able to hand over to Ferret. So I'm going to head back to Blackthorn, and I'm going to do that little reshuffling to give a free slot to Wooper for when it's going to be able to learn Waterfall. And by the way, I'm not sure what they were thinking by populating this place with an army of Magikarps. I just beat the last gym. I think I can handle something a little harder than Magikarps. Even if it's like, something like Horseys or something. I mean, we are in the Dragon's Den, and even though it's not a dragon type, Horsey seems to be a big favorite among dragon tamers regardless. And Claire's got a gift to us as an apology. And I believe, it's TM59, which is Dragon Pulse. 90 power, 100 accuracy. No added effect, however. It's, overall, it's sort of overshadowed by Draco Meteor because of the sheer power of that move. But Dragon Pulse is still a very good move if you want consistency with your Dragon move. And yet, for some unexplained reason, they decided to replace it in black and white with Incinerate. 30 power fire move as a TM. Yeah, this is even worse than the water gun TM from all the way back in Generation 1. Anyway, this is pretty much her seal of approval she's giving us right now, although in a very, I don't know how to word this. Oh, here's Hiker Anthony, who's decidedly unwilling to put down the phone. And, apparently he tried some berries, and it was delicious. Not sure if humans should try that stuff. That's for the person who asked me, if, that hiker on Route 45 who drank HP ups, if, he'd get poisoning. Oh! Professor Elm! This is a bit more important than Hiker Anthony here. Gotten hold of something neat, which is, spoilers, the Master Ball. Anyway, I'm not gonna do that quite yet. As I said, I still have some unfinished business in, not Mahogany, Blackthorn. Sorry about that. It's not like I'm getting my cities mixed up either. It's just that Mahogany's name was just, it came out faster than Blackthorn. I'm just going to heal my Pokemon even though they didn't take too much of a thrashing. In fact, did they even take damage in the Dragons Den? Oh, well, whatever. I use a few PP, and it's always good to heal it every once in a while. But the reason why I'm here, as I said, I want to delete Rock Smash on Wooper and give it to Furret instead, so that I can fit Waterfall on Wooper. And of course I'm doing it in Blackthorn. I couldn't do it earlier because that's where the move deleter is. We saw the house that's not too far from here when I first visited this town, so we're at last going to make use of those people's services. I think it's this one over there. They all forget who they are momentarily. Whether they're from Hoenn, Unova, Sinnoh, Johto, doesn't matter. Anyway, let's get rid of Rock Smash on this baby. Should that move be forgotten? Alright, I wonder how they do it. Do they just hypnotize Pokemon and say, clack, you forgot Rock Smash, or something like that? Anyway, we're gonna give it to Furret now. I believe it only has Cut and Strength as a chance, which means have to decide between the other two which one to get rid of. Quick Attack. Yeah, okay, I can do without Quick Attack. It's not like my Furret's gonna be doing much attacking anyway. Just watch as I end up eating my words, and it's gonna eventually come down to a Pokemon with 1 HP and my Furret, and I'm not gonna have any priority to hit it with. That's what always happens when LPing, though. I definitely wouldn't expect that to happen, given my general modus operandi when playing Pokemon games. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up today by dropping by Professor Elm's lab to get the Master Ball, and after that, I'm gonna get to grinding that Wooper so that I can learn a Waterfall. It's going to be a lot easier now that I have access to trainer rematches. And here's Lyra being useless as always. Why did they bother writing that character in? It's like, did they have 5 minutes of free time and decided to make a totally unimportant character part of the story who never does anything? But either way, I'm not complaining. I got my Master Ball. I know exactly what I'm going to be using on. Yeah, I'm going to give you a hint. It's the same Pokemon I used it on in Crystal, and that would be Who, by the way. I'm going to use Heavy Balls on Lugia, but Who's going to be a lot tougher to handle, so that's why I'm keeping the Master Ball for it. And yeah, they're talking about the kimono girls now. This would be my cue to go and fight them, but as I said, I got a few other things to attend to. And now that I have the final badge, I'm going to be able to climb up waterfalls and reach new areas in Mount Mortar and Route 47. But that's going to be done tomorrow.